Happy Wednesday morning, September 9th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's begin. First up, let's begin with your coronavirus in New Hampshire updated data and information. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 7,494 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 6,314,282 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 433 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 718 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 189, 400 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Now let's take a look at this current map of New Hampshire right here, where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester 39. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire, where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester 1952. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. In the red, deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. In the orange, current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths. And in the blue, recovered. And now let's take a look at this chart here, age group of cases. Female and male of cases. And risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here, infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, difficult breathing, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Now let's take a look at your full New Hampshire primary election results for September 8th, 2020. And here is a look at those results now. Sununu wins the Republican nomination for governor. Feltitz declares victory in race for Democrat nomination for governor, but votes are still coming in, so no winner in the Democratic race for governor. Yeah, it is still coming in, the votes. But once we know who the clear winner is, then that winner will go up face-to-face with Governor Chris Sununu. Chris Pappas wins U.S. House District 1 Democratic primary, and he will face challenger Matt Maurer's Republican nomination in 1st District. Mayberry concedes. Annie Custer wins U.S. House District 2 Democrat primary, and she will go against Steve Negron. Blankenbarker concedes to Negron in a race for Republican 2nd District nomination. Jean Shaheen wins U.S. Senate Democrat primary, and she will face off AP declares Mesner winner of Republican nomination for U.S. Senate, but Buldocki doesn't concede. But right now the AP is saying Corky Mesner is the winner. So it looks like Jean Shaheen will face off with Corky Mesner, but right now Bulldog still has not conceded. And that is a look at your full New Hampshire primary election results for September 8th, 2020. As we mentioned to you that there is no winner yet in the Democrat for governor race, and Phelps declare victory in the race for Democrat nomination for governor, but votes are still coming in. Phelps says he's ready to lead. Volinsky says he's better on school funding and climate. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino and Jean Mackin.
East Edges of Laconia is having a huge anniversary sale. Save hundreds and get huge discounts on wood, pellet, and gas products, jacuzzi spas, grills, sheds, gazebos, and playsets. It's anniversary sale savings at East Edges in Laconia.
Good evening. We are the last people here at campaign headquarters. Everyone has packed up and gone home. Andrew Volinsky knew that this would be a long fight and a tight race and a late night, and indeed it has played out that way. This campaign was buoyed by some major endorsements, the State Employees Association, the Teachers Union, and of course Bernie Sanders. Volinsky agrees with the assessment that it's looking like a long shot as the night goes on, but he is not prepared to concede. He thinks that there are some pockets of votes still waiting to come in, and so he wants to see how that plays out.
I respect the vote, and I respect that in political campaigns you win and you lose in public, and I am more than prepared to deal with that, but to cheat people out of their vote being counted is wrong. So we're going to wait. We'll probably wait till morning, and we'll see how the vote turns out, and then we'll make appropriate statements at that time.
The candidate has gone home. He does plan to reassess in the morning. We're live in Concord this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
And Volinsky's challenger, Dan Feltus, also still awaiting results from Concord tonight.
Let's go live right now to WMUR's Jean Mackin with what the campaign is saying at this hour. Jean?
Well, much different than Andrew Volinsky's campaign headquarters, because just moments ago, Dan Feltus stepped outside and declared himself the winner, declaring victory before, as you heard, challenger Andrew Volinsky has conceded this race. Volinsky saying he wants to count every primary vote. Feltus thanked Volinsky and his supporters, saying that together they will flip the governor's office to a Democrat and defeat incumbent Republican Governor Chris Sununu. Feltus said that Feltus did win Concord. That's not only his hometown, but Volinsky's hometown. And now the youngest Senate Majority Leader in state history, at 41 years old, is telling the crowd here tonight, his supporters, that he's been counted out throughout his political career here in Concord. But tonight he said, do not count him out again.
And then in the state Senate, they said we couldn't get anything done. Well, we proved them wrong on that too, delivering bipartisan results on critical issues. And those same pollsters and pundits even a week ago had written us off in this race.
And once again, an interesting night shaping up here. Dan Feltus declaring himself the winner of the Democratic primary in the race for governor, while Andrew Volinsky has not yet conceded. Feltus saying there are a long 56 days ahead. Might be a long night and a long day tomorrow as well. Live in Concord, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. As you heard there, that Volinsky still did not concede. Dan Feltus is calling victory, but no winner in the Democratic primary for governor just yet. We will have to wait and see once all the votes are counted. Analysts breaking down early returns for Democrat primary in governor's race. Let's listen to what the analysts have to say. Let's listen to that video now.
Because this race in particular, the race for governor on the Democratic side, it's been so up and down. One town goes to Feltus, another town goes to Volinsky. It's not entirely uniform, but Dan Feltus is building a lead. I believe that according to the AP right now, looks like Volinsky's down about 3,400 votes. And John DeStaso, I want to bring you in here. Obviously, we're a long way from finished here, but Andrew Volinsky is running out of runway to land this plane right now, isn't he?
Yeah, as Amy reported and Andrew Volinsky said, Keene is a very big town for him, very big city. The whole western tier pretty much has to go for Volinsky because Dan Feltus has run up victories in the home city of both of them in Concord. He's doing well in Nashua. He's been doing very well in Manchester. Towns like Londonderry, Bedford, they're going for Feltus. So, as you say, the runway is getting a little shorter for Andrew Volinsky, but there's no sign right now of any, concessions or anything like that at this point in time because there's still too many votes out.
Yeah, just wanted to take a quick look at the AP numbers out of Dover, which is in Andrew Volinsky's executive council district. 4 of 6 wards reporting right there. Volinsky's got about 600 votes up on Feltus. So there are these pockets here and there where he has these advantages. So it's tough to say how this will shake out in the end. But again, he's going to need to do really well. Not coincidentally, you mentioned Western New Hampshire. That's Bernie Sanders territory for the most part. So if there is a place where he's going to run up the score, it's going to be in that area. Peterborough, the 966 votes or so that Volinsky collected there, it's only, I believe, 3 or 4 votes off of the total combined of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren in the first in the nation primary back in February. Feels like a long time ago, though.
It does. And of course, Bernie Sanders endorsed Andrew Volinsky. And a lot of his supporters have to come out. Remember, Bernie only got about 20-something% of the vote in a very crowded presidential primary, but Volinsky needs to take all the progressive vote, including the college towns that are still outstanding.
Yeah, and it's been interesting. Some of those, you mentioned Keene with Keene State. Plymouth, obviously, was a close one. And then Ringe went big for Volinsky. So, again, it's all over the place, and this is a fun one to watch, and we're going to be watching it over the next few hours here, Tom and Jen.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. So we will have to wait and see once those votes are counted and come in. All Windham High School students to move to remote learning after additional COVID-19 cases. Sports practices, tryouts suspended at Windham High School. Windham High School officials have announced that all high school students will move to remote learning for the rest of this week after several additional COVID-19 tests came back positive. The school's Career and Technical Education program has also been suspended until further notice. The update comes hours after Superintendent announced that sports practices and tryouts would be suspended because of multiple positive COVID-19 cases in the school's student body. In 2 letters to parents sent yesterday, the superintendent did not say how many students tested positive for the coronavirus, but he said many of them are athletes. The superintendent said the Department of Health and Human Services recommended the school move to remote learning after learning of additional positive cases. All students who have tested positive for COVID-19, their siblings, those who are in close contact with an individual who has tested positive, and their siblings have been contacted and will adhere to their recommendation quarantine time, the superintendent said in a letter. Windham High School is set to reopen today for the first day and will now do so under a fully remote model for today, Thursday, and Friday. All other schools in the district will continue with their learning schedule for the remainder of the week, and throughout is a fluid situation, the superintendent said. Stock features in positive territory as Wall Street looks to bounce from technology-led sell-off. U.S. stock features were in positive territory during Wednesday early morning trading, following the technology-led stock rout that continues to pressure financial markets. 9 drug makers sign COVID-19 safety pledge. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Well, and of course, the other major story tonight involves the race for a vaccine. We learned just before we came on the air tonight that there could be a setback tonight in what had been one of the most promising studies from the University of Oxford. Their human trials reportedly temporarily on hold tonight after a reported serious reaction in one of their volunteers. It all comes as 9 drug companies pledged today in an historic joint statement that they will, quote, stand with science before issuing any vaccine, despite growing concern over any potential political pressure leading up to the election. Here's ABC's Steve Osensami.
A possible setback this evening. The final stages of human trials at the University of Oxford are being put on hold because one of their volunteers reportedly suffered a suspected serious adverse reaction. A spokesman for the company developing the drug tells a medical news service that they're now hoping to minimize any potential impact of the trial timeline. The chief executives of 9 drug makers who are racing to produce a vaccine that prevents COVID-19 are promising the world tonight that safety is their, quote, top priority. In their rare statement together, they write that they won't ask for approval or even emergency use of any vaccine until demonstrating safety and efficacy through a phase 3 clinical study. We believe this pledge will help ensure public confidence in the rigorous scientific and regulatory process. For weeks now, the president keeps suggesting that a vaccine could be ready by Election Day.
So we're going to have a vaccine very soon, maybe even before a very special date. You know what date I'm talking about?
His critics say he's rushing things for political gain.
I will not take his word for it. He wants us to inject bleach. No, I will not take his word.
But even Joe Biden says it's good for everyone if the Trump administration can help produce a safe and effective vaccine that's readily available by November.
If I could get a vaccine tomorrow, I'd do it. If it cost me the election, I'd do it. We need a vaccine. We need it now.
The CEO of Pfizer says they'll know soon if the president's timeline is possible.
Our base case predicts that we will have an answer by the end of October.
The nation's top infectious disease doctor still doubts a vaccine will be ready by Election Day. He does think more than one will end up making it to market, but says the demand will be so high, you likely won't get to choose.
I don't think you're going to be able to pick and choose like you would in a candy store.
We're now learning tonight of at least one trial location here in the U.S. that is no longer using that Oxford vaccine to inject into volunteers until we learn more about this adverse reaction. David?
All right, the ripple effect already here. Steve, our thanks to you again tonight.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.